afternoon, everyone. As you can see, my presentation is going to be who will succeed in FM, or in other words, who succeeds in MLM, in multi-level marketing. What kind of people succeed in this kind of industry. But before I talk about the presentation, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my FM experience. I joined FM in 2009. In July, I had gone to a grocery shop near my house to do shopping, and as I was going to pay, the lady offered me more than my vegetables. She offered me FM perfumes. She asked me whether I was interested in perfumes. I got to try one of the samples. I fell in love with it, and I loved the price even more. By then, our classic range was £10.50. I said to the lady that I'll be coming in 2 weeks' time to buy some perfumes when I have the money, and what I did within the 2 weeks, I was sending my friends to go to this shop and buy perfumes. And one of my friends went there and bought I think 5 or 6 bottles of perfumes. And by the time I went to buy my own perfume, I went with a friend and we went to buy perfume. And I said to the lady that I'm sending you a lot of customers, that I'm the one who sent so and so, and I know more people were planning to come and buy perfumes. And at that moment, she decided to negotiate some discount with me. She said, for every so many bottles of perfumes I sell to your friends, I'm going to give you a free bottle of perfume. And as we were trying to negotiate the discount, she said to me, and by the way, if you want to join the business, you can join the business. And I always say that I must have missed a heartbeat at that moment, thinking to myself, could this be a mod-level marketing business with perfume? And the reason is because the lady did not understand the business. That's why in the first place, she didn't offer me to join FM. So I asked her what I needed to do to join the business. She asked me to write my details on a piece of paper, you know, the old newspapers in the shop, I put my details, and she said to me that something would be sent to my email. And as I was driving home, I wondered to myself whether is that how you join a proper business, you know? And I decided to give her the benefit of the doubt, and I went home, and I waited for 2 days, 3 days, and this something never came to my email. So I continued waiting for another 7 days, but within that time, I went to the internet because I knew the name of the company was FM Cosmetics, and I googled and I saw people's details. And I found 2 different people, but they happened to be very far from Bedford. Somebody told me they were in Manchester, people who are very far from me. But I wanted to speak to somebody who understands this business and someone who could actually show me the product. After 7 days, I got fed up. I called the firm because I had their number. And I said to the lady on the phone that I want to do this business and I want to speak to somebody who understands the business clearly. And the reason is because before then, I was involved with another multi-level marketing company that was in health and nutrition industry. And I knew how the money is made. I understood the concept of MLM and how you make the money. But it was very hard to build a business with the previous company because the prices of the product were very high. And the nature of the product, you have to keep encouraging people. You have to convince people why they need to take health and nutrition supplement. So I said to the lady, I want to speak to somebody who understands the business clearly. And she said to me that somebody would call me. And I still remember where I was and what I was doing when the phone call came to me. This person called me, it was Irina. And my first question was to her, probably after saying thank you for calling me, was how much money do you earn from this business? And she said to me she earned £7,000 at that moment. And I asked her whether she was sure of what she was telling me. Because I wanted to eliminate the case of fake it till you make it. To which she invited me to her house. She said, you can actually come. And she said to me she lived in Luton. And I thought, only 20 to 30 minutes from my house. And I still remember receiving this address, Weltimore Road, Luton. I was at work. And I told some of my colleagues, there's this business I want to join, and this woman earns £7,000, and I'm going tomorrow. Can we go? And the following day, it was on a Wednesday, the following day was a Thursday. I was supposed to be working, but in the morning I fell ill. to Irina's house, and when I saw Irina, I knew she was not faking it. I knew she had made it. She was a diamond, both in FM and at heart. Those who know Irina will confess to that. The following day was on a Friday, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to say I found him sick again. This time, I think I took more than 2 people to Irina's house, and within 4 months, I became a parlor kid. So I think the end justifies the means in this case. So within 4 months, I became Pearl Orchid, and within 9 months, I qualified for the A-class Mercedes, and I also was able to quit a job that I didn't like, and I also achieved a dream I always had. I always wanted to get my son into private school, and the same week I signed the registration form was the same week I made the FM opportunity. So I worked after joining FM. Well, when I got to Irina's house, incidentally, the lady who had introduced me was in her team, and she was in a very strategic team. If you're building a team, you'll understand what that means. That's a leg that you probably need somebody most, because you could have people joining your business and they don't change your income. But where I was at that particular moment, Irina needed somebody in that team. And I say to Irina, no, this woman does not understand anything. I don't want her to be my sponsor. I want you to sponsor me. And Irina said to me, look here, I'll work with you as if I'm your direct sponsor. And it's been over 3 years, Irina has kept her words. So she worked with me, and I put a lot of energy, a lot of passion into the business. And I remember one day, Irina said to me, I think it was around my 4th or 5th month, because Irina could see that I was serious. I meant business. She said to me, Lucy, I'm going to help you until you get your own Mercedes, because when you get your own car, it becomes easier to do the business. And I proved that, because when I first saw the FM opportunity, one of my friends at work, I asked her to look at the business, at the perfume. She didn't. But when the car came, she came to my house to buy some perfumes. So I got the car, and it makes it a little bit easier when you have the car, and as Irina had said, so I put in a lot of energy. I achieved all this, and achieved this in a short period. Within 11 months, I became Amaranth, and I think about within 1 year or so, I became a Golden Orchid. And through my journey, my FM journey, it's not been necessarily a walk in the park. There have been so many challenges. I've had good times and some challenges. I've woken up to read some emails from Anita inviting me to a cruise in Belgium. I've woken up to some emails being invited to Hilton Hotel for 5 days. But it's not been like that throughout. I've woken up to find leaders in my team in strategic legs just let go of the business. I've woken up to find people being discouraged by very small things, and they let off the business. One of the challenges that I come across now and again is I wake up and I find an email from somebody in my team who is in another country, and she's very disappointed. I couldn't achieve this position last month, not because I didn't have the points, but we didn't have any stock in the office. You know, some companies, we are blessed here in the UK, we hardly have these issues. So these are some challenges that you wonder how to deal with, but by the grace of God, I've been able to respond to these emails, not only to keep these people going, but to keep them motivated. I've also had, for about 2 years, we used to ship perfumes to Kenya. Most people who know about Kenya know that for 2 years, FM used to buy perfumes from here. And we were all very excited when we opened a branch. We had that a franchise is coming up. And everybody was excited. Even the people who had not joined FM, they were excited about this. And they have not joined yet. But they were excited about that. And it was exciting not to have to ship the perfumes. And for a moment I thought, well, that is job done. I can sit down and relax and just support the country. But to my surprise is that most people, they got used to buying products from UK, and the prices are cheap. don't want to have anything to do with FM Kenya. And it is a challenge because these people make a lot of money from profit. And we all here, because I believe we are all leaders and all leaders in the making, we understand that the backbone of our business is in the structure, is in building a very good structure. So I'm working very hard with this challenging issue, teaching people you can let go of a little bit of your profit and build a structure. But what they prefer to do is buy in bulk from UK, not tell the people about the products, but sell to these people. And this is a big challenge, but we are working on it, and it reaches a point where working with challenges becomes exciting. So I'm in that position. In Kenya at the moment, if you're trying to build a business there, we have a fantastic office. The management is very good. The prices are just right. They're just right for the country. It's only that here we're very close to Poland and the prices are relatively cheaper. But people in Kenya, they make 100%. The people who buy from here, they make 100% profit. And we know that you can do 30% and earn a commission. Also in my journey, my 3 years experience, or through my networking experience, I've met people who are leaders. And I've been able to identify some attributes that all of them have. And these are the ones that we are going to look at my presentation. So who will succeed in FM, or who succeeds in MLM? So these are people who have big dreams and they set goals to achieve their dreams. The people who succeed, they know clearly what they want. So when they go out there to look for it, they'll be able to identify it. It's like starting on a journey. If you start building your business and you don't really know what you want out of it, it's very easy for you not to be focused. It's like starting on a journey and you don't know the destination. Before you set off for a journey, you need to know clearly where you're going, because you also need to be prepared. Yeah? And here we have a definition of dreams. Dreams are a projection of the life we wish to lead. And to really achieve your dreams, they must be vivid. You must have a clear picture of what you want. Well, for me, probably because of circumstances at that moment, when I joined the firm, I knew how much the school fees, how much I wanted for school fees, and I needed it so badly. Yeah? So for you to be able to achieve your dreams, they need to be vivid. And that's why they say it's good to have a dream picture on your fridge, of your dream house or dream car. So this is what dreams are not. Dreams is not what you see in sleep. Actually, it is the things that does not let you sleep. Yeah? So dreams are wonderful, but they are not enough. It is not sufficient to have a photo of your dream house or car on the fridge. It is very good to have the picture there, but it is not enough. You'll need to set goals. You need to plan how you're going to achieve your dreams. You need to set the goals, because the goals will give you direction and they will help you to overcome obstacles. Just like any other venture, your FM business, you're going to experience so many challenges. So many challenges. But if you don't know clearly where you're going to be easily distracted and go back to your job that you don't like. You're going to have short-term goals and long-term goals. And short-term goals, in my case, I look at them like your 9%, your 12%, 15%, because with a little bit of effort, it's very easy to achieve these short-term goals. And your short-term goals are going to be your testimony to encourage you to move to the long-term goals. Because if at all you're able to move from 9% to 12%, and to 12%, 15%, that means it's possible to move from 15% to 18%. And if you can move from 12 to 15, then it means it's easier to move from 15 to 18%. And by the time you get there, then you will be able to start to look at the Orchid Club, and you start to look at the Mercedes program, you know. So use your short-term goals to be your testimony that you can actually achieve the long-term goals. I've always had my goals written down, but do I always achieve them within the time frame I put? Not necessarily. Yeah, I set goals. When I said I want to get rid of the A-class Mercedes and get the C-class Mercedes, it didn't happen. Yeah. When when I said I want to become a diamond orchid, it did not happen. But does that mean I shouldn't set the goals in the first place? If you do not get started, if you do not set the goals in the first place, you don't even have a chance, yeah? So shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. So even if I didn't get to diamond when I wanted, I achieved more. I achieved something. I remember when I qualified for the A class Mercedes, I had different people with different suggestions. Some people said, Lucy, it's not good to take the A class because you have to maintain the position, you know, yeah, with the car program. But I wanted to take the challenge, and I knew that this is what I wanted, so I took the car. And you know what? When we were last year, before we were told whether we had qualified for the anniversary, I knew I had qualified because for you to be able to have A class, you already meet the level that they want you to. I mean, they want for the anniversary. So setting your goals will help you get somewhere, even if you don't reach where you want within the time you expect. So what's the real value of setting goals? The real value of setting goals is not in their achievement. The major reason for setting goals is to compel you to become the person it takes to achieve them. What do you think is the greatest value in becoming a millionaire? Do you think is the £1 million they get? Is it the value? The greatest value is in the skills, the knowledge, the discipline, and leadership qualities you will develop in reaching that elevated status. Once you set your goals to go to become an orchid member, it is good to have the income of an orchid, but once you get there, you have the discipline, the leadership qualities of an orchid. And that is why if an orchid loses some legs, some strong leaders, do you think they let off their business? They don't give up because they already have the skills. So what they do, they go out and work with other people and make them leaders. It is the experience you will acquire in planning and developing strategies. So these people who achieve, in the last, I was supposed to explain something here about if somebody wins $1 million, if somebody becomes a millionaire, if you take the £1 million from them, do you think they'll get it back very soon? What have we seen about people who they do not have the attributes of a millionaire when they get $1 million in lottery? Yeah? So the skills that you develop are more important than the actual thing that you get. So once you become an orchid, it's not just the orchid status. If the orchid is destroyed by something, anything could happen when you lose your orchid. You can build it once again because you've already got the skills of an orchid. So these people are driven. They have something exciting to wake them up. The leaders. I remember, I do call Irina sometimes in odd times, very early in the morning. And I've never called Irina and found her sleeping. That's strange. I remember when I joined FM, and I used to send a lot of people in Irina's house. One day I had this couple that they were going to be working up to 9 o'clock, and they said, we can go and see that woman and hear about this business. And I phoned Irina and I said, what's the latest time I can send people to your house? And can anyone guess what time Irina said is the latest I can send people to her house?
1 a.m.
12 o'clock. Honestly, and that really, I was humbled by that. With our African culture, I think we can always accommodate that. But for somebody who is, married to an English person, I thought that was something, yeah. And I think she's a true diamond. So these people are driven. They have something exciting to wake them up. They won't be sleeping by 12 o'clock. So when you try to sleep, these are the things that will wake you up. Your dream car, your dream holiday. This was my dream that kept me awake. And it has actually kept me awake up to this moment. When I started the business, I only wanted to get my son into private school. By then my daughter was about 2 years. But probably what I didn't realize is that very soon I'll have 2 children needing private school fees. Yeah? So that was my dream. I've had, my son has been, this is his 4th year in a private school, all courtesy of FM. Has it been easy? Not necessarily, but it has been worth it. Yeah? Success and personal development. These people who succeed understand that success is not a straight line. Most people who are not in business think that success is a straight line. This is what they think it is. But we all know it is like that. Yeah? It is not easy. It's not necessarily easy. And that's why, because they expect a straight line, when they find the challenges, just drop, go back to the jobs they don't like and complain every day about the job. They also understand that success is not a destination, but a journey. I've had some people ask me, Lucy, now that you're okay, do you need to do anything else? Who have had these kind of questions? Can we hear some of this? What has someone said to me, to you, that made you realize they think, oh, it's a destination?
I don't know, just sort of thinking, so that's it. Is it the last you don't do anything? You don't go out and sell any more products and don't meet any new people? And I go, no, that's not true. You actually still go and do it.
Actually, the most successful people, if Irina was here, I would honestly say that I think she works hardest. Yeah. So it's not necessarily very easy. It's not a straight line. I've had people say to me, so does FM service your car and everything? Because they think it's easy. Just get a car and get everything done for you. It's not necessarily easy. These people understand that success is an invitation to change, to grow, to develop, and to become. You're going to become a different person. You're going to develop. And how do you develop? You're going to develop by the skills you're going to acquire. When you first go to approach somebody about the opportunity, you can't even explain the marketing plan. You can't even explain about the business. But then you acquire some skills, you attend some trainings, you can't even talk about the products, your own products, and you're trying to recruit someone. But then you go out there and get trained. You attend Martin's training at the FM shop, and the next time you go to speak to someone, you understand the marketing plan, you understand what pheromones are, yeah, you can tell the difference between a luxury and a classic, and that way you're going to win your recruits. When you speak to someone, and you're now a different person, you've got the skills, you've got the knowledge, you're going to be able to recruit people. So you attract success by the person you become. You're not going to run after success, you're going to attract success by becoming a different person. A person who understands what they're doing, a person who understands their marketing plan. Yeah? You cannot talk about something that you don't know. If the lady at the shop, I was going to resist, honestly. I really was not going to let her sponsor me, because how was she going to explain anything to me? In the first place, this lady had asked me, probably I've never said this, but she wanted me to sell the perfumes at the luxury was supposed to be 25 instead of 16. It's not her fault. That's what she had been trained by somebody. And when I said to her, no, I have to sell at £16.99, she couldn't understand. I had to say to her, most of my customers will go to the internet. Yeah? So you must be able to explain about your product. You must be skilled about the business you're talking about. So leaders invest in personal development. They do invest some money. It takes money to buy CDs, DVDs, books. There are so many books out there about people who have succeeded in network marketing. Lots and lots of books. And leaders do read these books because they want to know how did they do it. Yeah, so that they can do it that way. They also invest their time. It takes time to attend this presentation, and it also takes energy to learn all these skills. Yeah? So one word to describe leaders, all leaders are readers. They just read because they want to know how it is done. Yeah? Like life, business has seasons. FM business, all business has seasons, and some people plant, and by the time the crop is ready to harvest, they are gone. Yeah, and also we we have some people who plant the crop, they plant the seeds, and within 2 months they're asking for the crop. They want to succeed so quickly. They don't want to give to tend their garden and give the crop the time to mature. Yeah. So who have people like this in their teams? You find somebody who came, planted a seed. When it's time to do 40 points, they are not there. But below them, there's somebody who's successful. Who have anybody like that in their team? Yeah. Yeah. About 2 years ago, it was the last day of the month. No, it was on a Saturday, and I have this lady who was, she had been in my team for a long time, and she was very strategic in my business. The first people that you recruit, and they go and their team go out and do something. And this lady was not doing the business. She was not building the business. But below her there were orchids. She had a big business. And on the last day, she was going to be kicked out of FM by 12 o'clock. And at 11 o'clock, I was on the phone convincing her why she should make 110 points. And I say to her, even if it's cleaning products, and I explained to her why she should not let, this business go, because she was going to be kicked out. And she managed to buy these points. And then the following year, I started a few months, she was not doing anything, and I spoke to one of the leaders. I thank God that I spoke to this particular leader about this team, and this leader said to me, you know, that day that I called her, I just lost a chance for another pearl orchid leg, because if somebody is in your team and they're removed, that becomes your team and you can actually work with it. So the following month, after another 12 months, when they didn't do their points, I just didn't bother calling them, because it was going to be a waste of money, because sometimes there's a little bit of money there and they're not there to do the 40 points. And now I have another leg that I'm building as a fellow kit. Yeah. So success, last but not least, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Thank you.